And we're back. Sorry about that. This is all my fault. I don't know what I'm doing really. We always do this from the shoot from the hip. I'm learning about all this stuff. Look at this. I mean, look.
Awesome. Awesome.
Dude, is that your head on my shoulder? You're way too close.
Awesome. Don't get seasick.
All right, so hopefully we get we'll get a few people showing up over here. Let's go back to Crescent City Gumbo, which is here. And all right, we got some people tuning in. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We should be good. So, Andy Medeiros. All right, there we are.
There you go.
Man, this is fun. This has been a blast, and I'm not sweating yet, but I mean, we got the air conditioning kicking and everything. Hopefully y'all can hear us all right. It gets hot in here. I did insulate the snout out of this thing. I did put our hypoallergenic, intrinsically sound, I don't know, shipping blankets that deaden the sound. So, all right,
Cool.
Back to Mike. Mike,
Cool.
tell us a little bit about Powershrine. How long has Powershrine been a band?
All right, Powershrine was put together, around 2012 or 13. And back then it was just, it was me and a fella by the name of Richard Plazons, who was a drummer and a singer. And I had a bunch of original ideas that I wanted to get recorded. And
Andy with this little Joker guy.
So it started from that. That was the genesis of it. Me and Richard Plazons. And what happened is that people were interested in hearing the band live. And at first, I wasn't really interested in playing live. I just wanted to record. And so one thing led to another. There was more interest about wanting the band to play live. And actually, it was Andy Malner that was pushing it. And at the time, Circle of Light was coming out with an album. And for those of you who don't know, Circle of Light is the original Lilian Axw, with Johnny Vines on vocals, Steve Blaze guitar, myself bass guitar, and Danny King is playing drums. And we had just put out an album, and we were doing a few shows, and Andy Malner actually thought it'd be a good idea to have the Powershrine open up for Circle of Light. And with a lot of arm twisting and maneuvering and going on, I decided, okay, let's put a band together. And so I did. And I got Danny King to play drums. I got Josh LaRose, who's an excellent guitar player from down at Bayou. I got him to play lead guitar. I played guitar. I got Jeremy Sevens to play bass, and Richard was on vocals. And so we did the gig. And it was mostly original songs. I think we played 6 originals and some covers, and it was well received. And we opened up for Circle of Light in Hammond, and that was that. That was the end of that. And so time goes by. A couple of years later, people come and go. Powershrine becomes me. As a songwriter and a guitar player, with Danny King playing drums and as a lyricist. And we got together and we wrote a bunch of originals, and we brought on board Joshua, of course, Josh LaRose, Bobby Hotard, which is another good guitar player down the bayou from Thibodeau, and a guy named Brandon Margovi, which is a really good, really powerful metal singer. And he sings in Intrepid Bastards, and he sang for Disciples of Thrash. So he actually, in my opinion, he brought to the band something that was lacking as far as a vocalist, because he brought some really balls and some girth and some grit to the vocal, which I was really looking for with the originals.
Gotcha.
And so we've been playing out occasionally here and there with this lineup. We actually just dropped a new single a couple of weeks ago called "Pray for Sanity," and how ironic the name just come out at this time. For what's all going on.
Oh yeah, we need our sanity right now.
What's all going on in the world?
So you wrote "Lord of the Streets"?
Yes, and now you're going way back.
That's Andy though.
You're going back to the '80s.
We can't ignore your fans.
You're going way back to the '80s.
So Joshua LaRose, pizza boy, was he does he deliver pizzas? Did he deliver pizzas?
And he has a pizza addiction.
See, pizza's a perfect food to me. I think pizza's awesome. It's bad for you, but it's so good because it's got everything on it. You could have everything. All your 12 food groups.
Yes, indeed.
Powershrine rocks.
Yes,
Rhonda
indeed.
Wall. Let's see. Hey, Mike. Barry Vidros. Let's see.
Yep,
We got
yep.
a bunch of people. Rock on, Max. Rhonda Wall. Joey Anthony. What's up, Mike? And oh man, we got some good people. Yo, Rocky Smith. Lonnie Miller. What's up, y'all? Good to see you, Mike. Let's see.
Great.
We got a bunch of people here.
Yeah, Rocky Smith provides our production for Sledgehammer.
Nice. I know that name. I work with Paul Guidry. I've been in the entertainment industry for at least 2 decades. Sound, lights, any form of stage production, push gear, help set up, things like that.
Great.
So I kind of know a little bit about what's going on, but I'm not the same caliber as some of the people that we've been talking to, like Jay. You know Jay quite well.
Absolutely.
And Jay couldn't stop talking about you and how wonderful you were.
Absolutely. Jay can't stop talking about a lot of things at times.
Yeah.
But I love Jay to death.
He's a good guy.
He's a real good guy. He's got a real good heart.
And he knows a lot of my family. So, all right, let's see. Powershrine's new single. What drove y'all to write this song? What drove y'all to lay it down and put it together the way it is? Because it's a powerful song. It's in your face. I'm sitting here at work. I get the message like, "Hey, we got a new single." I put it on. I'm like rocking out. So yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Pray for Sanity was conceived actually last year, somewhere around maybe September or August. I was just dicking around with the bass and with some reverb and some delay on the bass, and coming up with just a little riff on a bass guitar. And as I was playing this riff, what I was hearing in my mind was, you got to be familiar with Led Zeppelin.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to be. Are you familiar with 4-sticks, with the tom toms? Bum bum
Yeah.
bum 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 bum. Which got this great drum lick that's going on throughout the whole song, and it's all tom toms. And we actually used to play it in Sledgehammer when Guy Gelso from Zebra was the drummer for Sledgehammer. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But he, great drummer, and we used to play this in Sledgehammer. Well, I'm dicking around with this riff, and in the back of my mind, I'm hearing this. I'm hearing this drum lick, and I'm like, man, this is really matching. This is really happening. And so that's where the idea came from for the song, was mainly that bass riff and that drum lick, and from there it went off into some other heavier things and whatnot, but that was the beginning of it. That's where the idea came from.
All right.
And it actually took maybe about a month or so to get the whole song complete and together. I had brought in Danny King to help me with the lyrics, and Joshua and Bobby both contributed on some of the guitar parts. So it was all inclusive. It wasn't just me, but initially I did conceive just the main idea, and that's where it came from.
Okay, a little bit about you. Let's go back from you. You're from a local New Orleanian.
Yeah.
All right. Been here all your life.
Yeah. Been
All right.
born in New Orleans. Been here all my life. Started playing music when I was 11 years old. Ooh. And started playing out in ballrooms when I was 15 in Fat City.
It was okay then.
Yeah, it was okay. It was, you didn't get hassled by the cops. You didn't really get hassled by the club owners. And it was, as long as you wasn't an idiot and running around acting like a fool or drinking and all that nonsense and just acting like an idiot, it was cool. And the thing about it is with my old man, with my parents, he was like, look, son, I don't know how this is going to work out with school and all. I don't think this is a good idea. And I begged and I pleaded and I begged and I pleaded. And he said, as long as you pass, as long as you do your work, make the grades and pass, you can do it. Yeah. And I did, and so I got to play all over Fat City. When I was 15, 16 years old, man, we were playing in Fat City. I was playing Old Man Rivers. I was playing Four Columns across the river. We were playing Lights Fantastic down in Cutoff, Louisiana, way down the bayou.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Playing the Iron Horse in Thibodaux. And I mean, we're playing all over the place. So it's like I got an education in rock and roll at a really early age. And I seen a lot of stuff that I didn't want to be involved with, but I also learned a lot of stuff that helped me on later down the road, you know.
So I've been getting some. We've been getting some comments here that you might want to get to. Let's see. Stay off his lawn. Anthony Green said, "Stay off his lawn." What up, fellas? New single rocks. I like pizza better than soup. That was Barry.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, here's a good one. And Andy, fess up on that super secret meatloaf recipe, dude. I be's hungries. Meatloaf,
yeah.
huh?
And that's all a good running joke. That's what that boils down to, and like an inside joke.
All right, so what was your favorite place to play in Fat City when you were 15?
Probably the Quarter Note, and the Quarter Note was where everybody played. Everybody. We had 2-4K back then. We had Melage. We had my goodness, Savage White. We had Stormtrooper. We had a plethora of bands, and the thing about it back then is that in Fat City, you could play Fat City 5 nights a week. We used to play Caleb's, which was in McAllister's Quarter, on a Tuesday night.
Nice.
And you'd play like Caleb's on a Tuesday. You'd play the Quarter Note on like a Friday. There was another place called Fletcher's. You might play Fletcher's on a Saturday. There was a place called the Showboat. You'd play the Showboat and you could play all over Fat City in 4 or 5 places during a week, and you drew a crowd.
Yeah, and people came out.
People came out, and that was the scene back then. That was the scene.
That's good stuff.
That was the scene back then, and it was, I consider myself really fortunate to have been able to be around back then to play, because today it's nothing like that.
No,
it is nothing like that at all.
No, we got Instagram attention spans these days. If it lasts longer than 15 seconds, they're moving on.
Yeah.
So
it's nothing like that.
All right, how about this one? Your favorite place to play in the United States throughout your career?
Oh,
boy. Best crowd.
Oh, well, we can break this up into a couple of things.
Okay.
When I was in Lilian, we were playing at the end of that run. We were playing arenas, opening up for Rat,
Right.
and for Queensryche, and for Poison. So I mean, the Gulf Coast Coliseum, UNO Lakefront Arena, Jackson Coliseum. I mean, you know, that's what every kid aspires to do, is get on stage in front of 4,000, 6,000 people and play. We just play, and then again, Lilian's last show was in front of like 6,000 people in Miami. We just played.
Nice.
We played Miami, Florida.
Nice.
And again, we played the Monsters of Rock cruise, which is really cool. You know,
I read about it.
So I mean, there's you know, there's too many answers. There's too many places just to pick out one.
Andy, Lilian Axw on Wednesday nights in 1984 could pull 300 to 500 people in the Hammond Social Club. Lace was Lace. And Hammond Social Club was packed tighter than most folks on Saturday nights now. You're right, man. I'm absolutely. People just aren't getting out like they used to, and now even less.
Yeah.
Which we're going to try to fix that. I have a plan.
Yeah.
I got a plan.
Yeah.
We're going to make that happen.
There was a club in Lafayette, Louisiana, called the Keg. We used to play during the week, and it would just be slam.
Yeah.
It would be slam with kids.
Oh yeah.
You know,
College town, man.
It was just slam with kids, and it was a really good time. You know.
Well, how about, what's the furthest you've traveled from home?
New York, up to Long Island. Been up there quite a few times. We had the pleasure of opening up the Zebra a couple of times up there, and also the pleasure of playing on our own and headlining.
Nice.
And that was always, again, that was like a dream come true, you know,
Right.
just to go up there and to be able to do that. There really was.
Oh, y'all were quite influential around here. Yeah, you, all the guys in Lilian Axw, they're very influential around here. There were a lot of songs. I've been doing some research and preparing for this. There were a lot of songs that I'd forgotten about. And I'm like, oh my God, that was awesome. So yeah, it's so much fun. We getting old, said Felix. And Ed Gwynn said, Doobie. Sold out Bojangles at the time.
Yeah, Ed Gwynn was he was part of the road crew back in the early 80s. He actually owned the club Bojangles, which was on the West Bank in Belchase, and he was pivotal to our beginnings back then with the light show and the PA and really just helping out with the band and whatnot. And it's, you know, it's cool too is with social media. It's like, dude, I lost track with Ed. You know, I haven't heard from Ed in 30-something years, and with Facebook, you know, now we can reconnect, and we can talk about old times and see how the kids are doing and the grandkids are doing, and it's really a beautiful thing.
Oh, Joe Anthony, great question. In a perfect world, what's one band you would want to share the stage with?
Oh, in a perfect world?
Yeah.
Oh man, Zeppelin.
Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's what started it all for me, was Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Bobby Hotard said Pizza Nuts has entered the room.
Pizza Nuts is my love name for Joshua LaRose, who is my guitar player in Powershrine.
And he absolutely shreds. He's phenomenal.
And Bobby is a guitar player in Powershrine too.
John Sanders. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Was about to mention the Keg. It was Wednesday rock night. Razor White played a lot there. Razor White.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. Joshua LaRose. Mike Maxx looks charming this evening.
Yeah,
Must be the nice warm lighting in here.
Yeah. That's Pizza Nuts, so he's sucking up.
Hey, so I want to play with you again, man.
Yeah.
So, all right. The Monsters of Rock cruise was in the Bahamas, somebody said. So
yeah, we're playing in 2021. As long as the world doesn't end and we all don't die from the China virus.
Hey, just don't eat raw bat.
Yeah, don't eat no bats, and that's all on schedule for 2021.
All right.
And so we're looking forward to that as well. That's with Lilian Axw.
Lilian Axw.
Yeah.
So how are you one of the original Lilian Axw members?
Yes.
From day one.
Yes.
And still with them.
Yes.
Rocking strong, man. That's quite a that is quite an achievement. That's quite an accomplishment. Quite a journey.
I started playing with I was the last one to join the band. The name of the band was called Oz. And Steve Blaze, Ace Palacio, Rick Bohr, and Jeff Savelle were already involved. They were already members in the band. And I was the very last one to join. And Oz became Lilian Axw. And people come and go once again. And after Oz had broken up and people went their separate ways, it was just me and Blaze and Steven. And that was like in 1982 or 83. And Stevie actually came up with the name Lilian Axw. And we got Johnny Vons as the lead vocal back then. He was a singer for Savage White at the time. And we had Rusty Cavalier was the drummer back then, and you know that went on for maybe a year or 2 years, and then we wound up getting Danny King as a drummer, and then man, the rest is history. You know,
it's good history.
The rest is history from there. So you know, me and Steven go back 40 years, and I consider Steven one of my best friends. He's my brother, as well as Danny King. These guys know more about me probably than my 3 wives combined. And
nice.
Anyway, you know, it makes for a good working chemistry. Thank you.
You can see that on stage with these guys.
Old guy.
The chemistry. See, for me, that's one thing that sells a show. That makes me want to go see it. Is when the guys on stage are having a blast, just jamming together. Yeah. It's like it's one of those like, hey, look, we're 15 again. Yeah. We're on stage. We're still rocking, and we're just, you forget about what's going on. You forget about life. It's an escape. And right now, we need more of those.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody wants to come in the studio and jam, I'm going to broadcast it live if you want to. All right, we're going to take precautions. Nobody's going to get sick. I mean, I got Tyvek suits if we need to put them on. We're going to make this happen because I've had a few bands come on. And look, Crescent City Gumbo is just a little local thing, right? This is my garage. It's a 1-car garage that we converted into a studio. And it's times like this that it makes us feel humble to have someone like you in here. Because Mike has been around for a while. He's influenced music and a lot of young musicians out there. He's also the Louisiana Music Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Along with Lilian Axw.
Yeah.
Watching you and Steve interact on stage to this day, it's to me that's why you go see a show. They're having fun, they're enjoying it. The crowd gets into that, and then you turn around and you're like, yeah, and then the crowd. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong. Powershrine live at the Gumbo. Do it, Andy. How many people you got in your band? I've had 6 people in here jamming.
5.
So yeah.
5, yeah.
Now
you never know.
If y'all are interested, I have a buddy that's got a really, really nice 360-degree camera. I'm throwing this out here for everybody. 360-degree camera. We can set it up right here in the middle, and we surround it with plenty of distance in between each other. And we can jam, and the thing is the people at home watching can pick up their cell phones and turn around and look at who they want at any given time, even after it's recorded. So it's really fun to do. We've done one test video in here, and my buddy Kevin is so down to get this going. And he's such a good guy, and he's really talented. He's a good photographer. It's basically like a camera that does the Google Street stuff. You can move to here and then look around, and you can move to here, or you can do live video with it. So.
Awesome.
If anybody's interested, hit us up.
Awesome.
And we always have people. Last night I had 4 people in here who were jamming. 5 actually. We had 5 people, and we rocked out. It was four guys that never really jammed together, and it turned out to be a lot of fun. And I was one of them. Of course, I'm the weakest link. I'm not a musician, but I do like to jam. All right.
Awesome.
So, what do you see coming from Lilian Axw soon? What's going on? You got big shows coming?
Well, we've we have big shows lined up. It all depends on this nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like yesterday I had the news on. I had my phone with Facebook.
Yeah.
I had my phone with all the local updates going on. And the mayor of New Orleans is coming on and saying there's going to be no mass gatherings. They're canceling they're canceling Jazz Fest. They're canceling the Essence Fest. They're canceling French Quarter Fest. And from just a little while ago, we supposedly in New Orleans, we're going to be locked down to May the 15th.
Yeah. Not cool.
So you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We've lost some shows.
Yeah.
We've had some shows rebooked. We were supposed to play at the Bayou Fest, which is a great festival in Gonzales, Louisiana, at the Lamar Dixon Center. We played there last year. Awesome crowd. Awesome turnout. My hat's off to Colby and everybody that's involved, and forgive me if I forget everybody's name, but
I'll call them something different.
Or call them Matt, but they really do a really stand-up great job, and this thing was supposed to happen in June, and hey, I don't know if it's going to happen, and in my opinion, it might not happen.
True.
So I just don't know, man. I just don't know.
Not working on anything, getting in the studio, practicing.
Know. Actually, Lilian Axw has gotten a new singer.
Yes.
We've gotten Brent Graham has stepped up, and Brent has a history with me and Steve. He sang, and he was the first singer in Sledgehammer.
That's right.
And he sang for a local cover band for many years. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm an old dude and I forget a lot. And he was got a great range, a lot of power.
Oh yeah, he's powerful.
He's just charismatic, looks really good, looks awesome. He sang in Supercharger was the name of the band that he sang for many years.
I've seen Supercharger many times.
And he is now the new singer for Lilian Axw. And we've been in the studio without Brent, and we have 3 new songs that we've recorded with Lilian, and this was prior to all this nonsense. This is actually a couple of months ago. But I mean, it's a really outstanding and really cool, groovy, heavy, melodic music. And I'm looking forward to getting into the studio and writing more with Lilian. And hopefully, you know, that will happen soon. And again, man, this whole thing with this COVID-19, China virus bullshit, it's got the brakes on everything, you know, and you just don't know what the fuck's gonna happen next.
It's got the stranglehold on us.
Yeah, man, and it's really frustrating.
So Johnny Vines rocked.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Great musician. Let's see, E.T. Ed Gwynn said E.T. Does that mean anything to you?
Phone home.
Rhonda said your chemistry was unreal. Mike and Danny were so tight when we were playing music. Bobby Hotard. Mm-hmm. Andy, Powershrine at the Gumbo. C-Max, do it. You see that? He's pushing us. Mm-hmm. Love you, Andy. Thanks a lot, man. That's what I love about Lilian Axw, Sledgehammer, and Powershrine. Every time those guys take the stage, it's 100%. Bunch of great guys in all 3 bands. Yeah, you put on the same show whether you're in front of 10,000 people or 10 people.
Yeah,
that's where a true musician comes in. That's absolutely loves what they're doing, and those are the kind of people you want to go see for sure.
Yeah,
we were all brothers. Still, at least I think of them as my family. That's Ed.
Yeah, that's Ed. Yeah.
Andy Malner, brothers of the Blade. Oh, Joshua said Mike was cranky yesterday.
Yeah, well, I'm always cranky with Joshua. I'm always on his ass. So
he said he misses D's pizza nuts, or his pizza nuts. Sorry, Bobby.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Ed says, Michael, tell him about the Romper Room Watch Fest at 4 in the morning.
You know, that's something that I really forgot. I was probably like drunk out my mind, and I just don't remember. I'm sorry, but hey,
those are the best. I want to get some T-shirts made that say some of my fondest memories are the ones I don't remember.
Right.
And Joshua said you're sexy, unless he's talking about me, but I seriously doubt that.
I think he's talking about you.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hey, you like Matt, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, Napoleon Bronco said. New album coming out.
Oh yeah, that's talking about the Lilian album.
Yeah.
And again, that's. I mean, you know. I couldn't give you a time or a date. You know, it's a lot's got to do with what's happening in the world today. Yeah. I mean, because look, we generate a lot of money is generated through live shows and through selling merchandise that pays for studio time.
Sure.
And look, that ain't happening. No. That just isn't happening right now. So we kind of on standstill.
Well, speaking of that, can people still buy your merchandise if they're interested? You got places where you can go, websites?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They can actually. Steven's gonna kick my ass for this, but forgive me. Go to Lilian Axw website or to a Steve Blaze Facebook site, and you can look up all that pertinent information on those sites. You can also purchase, everything from Lilian to Powershrine on all your basic iTunes and eBay and
nice.
whatever the fuck there else is, you know. Amazon, whatever. You can get it from there.
All right, let's see. Ed Gwynn said Rusty was E.T. He had big bug eyes.
That ain't nice, Ed.
John Sanders, how about the Red Dog? Nobody can find it.
Red Dog, from what I gather, was a place that we played in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in Lafayette.
Watch your kids.
I can get out. Yeah, sorry about that, kids.
Kids here.
Sorry
about
that,
put a
kids.
disclaimer in the description.
Sorry about that, kids, but hey, it's time to grow up.
All right, let's see. We all were there. Ed Gwynn said, Napoleon, you can buy Lilian records anywhere from iTunes to Amazon. All right, Andy Max, we will make the return of the NOLA Day of Rock and Roll a reality. Virus be damned. All right, let's do that, Andy.
Let's do it, Andy.
All right. Cranky level is rising. Laugh out loud.
No.
You can see the meter going.
You see these young dudes, these young guys. They don't understand. They just don't get it. They don't get it when the old man starts cursing. That's just the way I talk. Hey, you know, that's all there is to it.
It's just a camp. It's a camp talk here.
That's it.
All right. So Powershrine just put out a new single. Y'all working on anything else?
Not at the time.
Not at the time.
Not at the time. Have to be honest with you. Not at the time. Again, man, I just can't emphasize what's going on with the world right now. It's just got everything. It's got everything in a stranglehold.
And you see a lot of people getting together. Just not so much getting together, but you see them practicing. You see them playing. You see them putting stuff on Facebook, which is wonderful. You got a lot of guys out there trying to continue to live by putting Facebook stuff out there. Support local musicians. Get out there, tip them a little bit if you can. If you can't tip them, share their videos. Start watch parties. That helps them get eyes on them. And that's what Crescent City Gumbo was started on, way before this Corona stuff started. We started just to help out friends of mine because I know a lot of musicians that are struggling to find people to come to shows since nobody's going to shows anymore, really. So we're trying to encourage that. So get out there. We're going to keep doing this well after this disease is gone, too. Virus disease, whatever you want to call it. But as soon as it's gone, I want to have a party. I want to have a big party. I want to invite a whole bunch of bands. And just set up the stage and just say, hey, who's playing next? And just get up there and go. And then invite everybody. And we can, raise some money for something.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's going to bust loose when all this bullshit's over with,
Yeah.
and we can all get back to living our lives. I think it's really going to bust loose, and you're going to see you're going to see something like we've never seen before.
Napoleon, you have played with lots of great musicians. Were they all cool?
For the most part, yeah. You had some guys with big heads, and who thought they were better than others, and but for the most part, yeah, man, they've been really humble and really down to earth guys.
Uh-huh.
And something I found out is that the older I've gotten and played with other high caliber musicians, the more cooler they are. When I was a kid, they were like, punk, kind of standoffish, and didn't give you the respect, and rightfully so, because you didn't earn it back then. Yeah. But now, no, for the most part, yeah. But actually, there's still some pricks out there. Yeah.
Sure. So who was the coolest musician that you've worked with that everyone might know?
Robin Zander.
Robin Zander.
Robin Zander from Cheap Trick was awesome, and just a really down-to-earth, humble human being.
Bobby says 2 more Powershrine originals that were written that haven't worked out and finished. So there's some unfinished material to get back to. That's for sure. Donald Martin, hey brother. Donald Martin plays with Six Gun Solution. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He wants to come. He's been wanting to come in here so bad, but this Corona stuff has been. I can't wait to get him in here because I've been telling him, it's like, dude, we've been jamming. He's like, oh, so he's.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bobby Hotar, Lilian opened for Winger last year. Reb Beach told Mike he loved their music. So Winger's fans of yours?
I don't know about Kip, but Reb Beach definitely dug the band.
Nice.
Yeah, Reb Beach actually, and thanks Bobby for reminding me of that. Reb actually came up to me personally after our set, and he was just like, man, y'all were just really, really great.
That's the kind of stuff you need to hear.
That was really nice of him.
That'll get you going. That'll keep you motivated to keep performing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick was a strange dude, says Ed.
Yeah, he was pretty much a prick.
Oh, that doesn't sound strange.
Yeah,
that just sounds,
that's the truth of it.
Robin made up for Rick for sure, Ed says. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you've been around. You've performed with amazing musicians. You've gotten to show off your talents. All right. Let's just say, what venue has really, really appreciated you guys the most and wants to have y'all back most often? And I'm talking about Lilian Axw, Powershrine, and Sledgehammer. Let's cover all 3. Who was the most appreciative of Lilian Axw over your large career?
Over the years, Lilian. I would have to say there was a place in Texas called Cardi's.
Cardi's?
That we used to play like every 6 weeks or something. And man, that place was just phenomenal. It was at least 1,000 seat. You could at least put 1,000 people in there.
Nice.
And we would play from Tuesday through Saturday. And on a Tuesday night, you might have 50 people. And on a Wednesday night, 75. But as the weekend, as Friday and Saturday they got there, it was slam. It was just slam. And we we honed our craft, and we busted our butts playing like 4 and I think maybe 5 sets a night at Cardi's on Fridays and Saturdays.
5 sets.
So that's really where we really got our chops down and
cut your teeth, man.
Cut our teeth, man. And it was just happening. And the people, from the owners to the guys that worked at the club to the people in the crowd, were just phenomenal.
So overall,
it really was. Yeah,
amazing.
It really was.
All right. How about for Powershrine?
Powershrine, we haven't played out a whole lot. We've been playing. We played a couple of shows at a place called the Twist Alarm, and they've always been really gracious and we've had a good time there as well.
My wife and I have been to Twist and Lime. We go there every now and then to see friends bands. Now we got another band to go see. Y'all can join us out there.
There you go.
All right. How about Sledgehammer?
Sledgehammer, I would have to say a place called Hurricanes. Hurricanes in Metairie. And yeah, we do really well there, and the staff and the owner and all the girls, really, really gracious.
Hurricanes is a good place, good venue. Yeah. I've run sound in there before. I've hung out many times, go see lots of bands as well.
Yeah.
My wife and I like to get out as often as we can. We have a few kids. We got a young girl, little girl, that it's hard to leave her behind, but especially because she loves heavy metal. She loves rock. So, yeah, it's hard to get her out. Like, I went to see Tantric not too long ago, and I got the guys from the band to autograph a poster for her. And she just loves it. She has a shirt that said, to Kate, and they wrote off one of their choruses, and it's her favorite part of the music. So
Great.
It was wonderful. So she's getting ready to, well, when she gets a little older, like if y'all ever played like at Lafreniere or something, we would definitely bring her out to see y'all because she would love that. Let's see, Nemo's. Ed says, I like Nemo's, Old Lake Theater. Andy used to make the drive to Cardi's, great venue. Ed said he was trying to be nice. I'm guessing about
Rick.
Yeah. Mike Maxx is one of the most solid players and people in the business, period. Wow. Some people actually like you, or they owe you money.
I think he owes me money.
Yeah, so you better pay that tip, pay that check pretty soon, because you should have seen what he was carrying in his truck over there. I'm telling you, I don't want to get on his bad side. Let's see, who else we got here? We got a bunch of great places. Mo Windhurst into Hizzy. Oh, I guess Mo Windhurst is watching. So, all right. So, of all the people that you've played for, who's your favorite? Like, big crowd, little crowd, location wise. Well, I mean, because some of the small crowds could be the most amazing crowds.
For me personally, we had a show with Sledgehammer not too long ago.
Ooh.
And it could have been a disaster. The PA was terrible. The venue was kind of iffy. But the vibe and just the overall feeling on stage, where the whole band was clicking, was a place called, and people are going to be blown away by this, and my band members are going to be blown away by this, and this is recently. This isn't with Lilian or anybody else. This is with Sledgehammer. It was a place called the Swamp Chicken, and the first set was a little shaky. Yeah. The sound wasn't quite right. The monitors weren't quite right. We set up on the floor. So it's kind of like a bullshit, it's like, man, this is going to suck and blah blah blah. And but man, the second set, the fucking band was just hitting.
Threw it in there.
We were like this, and it really felt really good. And I mean, there's been other times for that as well, but that's something that just sticks out in my mind as recently. And I mean, we've had some phenomenal shows with Lilian playing. We played in Atlanta last year at this festival, and it was just phenomenal. Right. And also we played at the Jeff Center, right in I think it was in December of last year, and man, it was just phenomenal. The tightness and just the feel on stage of the band was just like awesome. It really was.
When it's like that, it doesn't matter who's watching.
Right.
You forget about the crowd sometimes.
Right,
like, sorry guys, we'll get back to you in a minute, but we're really messing right now.
Absolutely.
So yeah, January 10th. Joey Anthony says January 10th. What's that about, Joey?
No idea.
Mo Windhurst said, hey guys, just popped in for a few. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Mo Windhurst. Mo was there from the beginning. He actually is the sound man for Journey. He ran sound for Heart He ran sound for Salt and Pepper. He's been all over the place.
Cool, man.
And Mo is one of my dear friends. I've been knowing Mo since I was 15, 16 years old, and I've always looked up to him. He's always had my back, and he's done really well for himself. He really has.
So I wonder, is that the Mo that Jay was talking about?
Yeah.
I knew him before he was Mo?
Yeah. And Mo was the sound man for Lilian for years.
All right.
He was a sound man for Lilian.
It's such a tight-knit community, even when you get bigger than local. It's crazy. Some of my buddies that aren't from Louisiana that have come here and visited and they played, and they get to know a few people. And some guys that just moved here recently, they're like, man, I see what you're talking about, because I'm always pushing community when we're talking, because we got to stick together, especially now. And they say, man, I haven't ever seen a musical community like this. Everybody's so tight, everybody's so close, but now I'm starting to see that it's way beyond New Orleans. I mean, with Jade coming in, you talking about Mo and everybody else that you've worked with across the nation, it seems like everybody's there for you. You know, you get out there and you make these friends and you make these acquaintances and professional contacts and everything, and everybody's there. This is crazy. It's beautiful. I can't wait to try to get into a little bit more of that myself. But you know, I want to keep it local, and that's what that's what we've been about. That's why I was so excited to have you on here, because this is a local guy, and he's been big, and you know, with Jay and all these guys that are chiming in. I'd say what 90% of these people are musicians that are phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all local guys. They all guys that I have connections with. They all cats that I've worked with throughout the years. They all stand-up guys. And you know, what's really great is that, I mean, I look back to when I was 15 years old, and it was like, you're talking about community. There's like there was Johnny Vons, there was me, Steven, Rusty, Danny, Rick, Orlando, Jeffrey, Mo. We can go with Ed, Mickey, JJ. It's like all these cats that were kids, basically. We were teenagers, and we were starting out. We wanted to play rock and roll music, and some were musicians, and some were tech guys, and some were roadies. You got Mars, you got Gibb, you got guys from White Tiger, you got guys from Melage, you got guys from 24K, you got guys from Persia, you got guys from Zebra, you got guys from all over the place, and it's like this little cluster of musicians back in the 70s and the 80s. It just expanded and expanded and expanded, and we all have connections. You know, we all have connections in some form or another. Zebra took us. Well, Big J, who was the main booking agent back in the '80s, he booked Zebra. He booked everybody. He had the connections with everybody, and he put us. He got us tied up with Zebra to go play up in New York, and they were gracious enough to say, yeah, y'all come on and do it.
Wow.
And I mean, you know, and it's like they could have said, nah, you know, we don't want y'all tagging along. Y'all a bunch of kids. And those cats were probably, you know, maybe 5, some 10 years older than us at the time. But they were gracious enough to take us along, man.
Mentors, man.
And take us up there. And it opened up a lot of doors. We actually showcased for Atlantic Records because of Zebra with through one of those gigs up in New York at L'Amour's up in Brooklyn.
That's beautiful.
And you know, we played Hofstra University up in New York with Zebra, and we played, you know, a couple other venues I can't remember. with Zebra, and they were always really just gracious and helpful and really just cool, you know, and not just them. I mean, we got along with 24K, we got along with White Tiger, we got along with all these other bands, and which sucks is you don't have that no more, man. You did that. Those days are like, that's the glory days, and for Mardi Gras, the bands used to play at McAllister's Quarter for Mardi Gras, where Caleb's and Dino's and the last stop was. And dude, I remember going there when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old and watching the bands and just being in fucking awe and just watching. And there's like probably 800 to 1,000 people packed into this area, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that one day. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And I did it. And everybody that was involved in that at the time was really just cool. You know, nobody was like, you know, you're a little kid and you can't do this and you're just starting out. Everybody was really helpful and really gracious. And unfortunately, those days are gone, man.
Yeah, let's see what it that was the heyday, says Barry. Now Andy said something. He said Lilian Axw could have gone anywhere they wanted, but they stayed here at home in Louisiana, and we are all eternally grateful for that. We are the privileged, and he's right. He's absolutely right. You guys were up there with all of those. I mean, y'all were up there rubbing elbows, butting heads. Not really butting heads, but y'all were up there with all the big names. I mean, and y'all performed with a lot of these guys. You had videos when MTV was MTV, and I mean, y'all had some really good stuff. I mean, this is amazing. So you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. You deserve a lot of the recognition. You deserve all of this stuff, man, because you guys put the work in, put the effort in, made it huge, but stuck around.
Yeah, huge, and you know, you can look at huge in a couple of ways.
Relatively,
huge could be like the Stones. Huge could be like Zeppelin. In my mind, that's what I think. But on our level, we did good for ourselves.
You made it really far.
We did really good for ourselves. Yeah. And the main thing is that we wasn't a bunch of chumps. We were always really humble and willing to help the guy coming up. Nobody in a band that I've ever played with was really, for lack of better words, was really an asshole. Everybody was really helpful.
Nice. That's the way it should be. Mm-hmm. Donald Martin said Ace. I'm assuming Ace Palaccio.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Met you guys at Bojangle when it was Oz. That's Barry.
Yeah.
That was the heyday.
Yeah.
Lonnie Miller. Did you ever play with Razor White?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Razor played with Lilian a bunch of times. Opened up for us a bunch of shows, and actually, Steven and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, and but Steven and Johnny Vons were pivotal with getting Phil Anselmo into Pantera. Yeah,
love some Pantera. My daughter, when Pantera's on TV, I'll put on some of that. She'll get in front of the TV.
Yeah, they really were.
And
they
really were good guys too. Guys too. All right, let's see. Donald Martin said was introduced to Lilian Axw on the CYO circuit.
That was weird, man. we would play the and I remember my oldest brother taking me to go see Zebra at that St. Christopher's CYO. And I was probably, 12 years old or whatnot.
Audrey just posted something. And yes, I have it. Rock Out.
Kurt Loaders.
The Kurt Loaders, yeah.
Cool.
Rock Out with your rooster. With your rooster out.
Yeah.
So, Kurt Loder's played in here. They made some money. We hooked them up. They hooked us up. Oh my God, it was a great show. Had a blast. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was kind of crowded with those guys, but there was a point in the video where the guitar player, I thought he yelled fire, but he saw a big spider. He yelled spider, and he jumped, and it was hilarious. And Audrey said, yes. All right, so Lilian Victorian Blitz. With Victorian Blitz?
Victorian Blitz is actually Crowbar.
Ooh.
That's where Kurt Weinstein is the mastermind of Crowbar. Yep. So again, you know, you got all these bands all transformed and became all these bigger bands, man.
Yeah.
And Lilian Axw had a lot to do with that. Lilian Axw had a lot to do with all these other bands coming up.
Mike Fontanet, he was the spider killer. He was the guitar player. As Audrey's keeping us posted.
So he works for Orkin.
Nah. As long as he's playing his guitar, I guess.
Okay.
He'll smash the spider with his guitar.
Okay.
He was quick too, quick to move, man. He jumped on it. So, dude, it's after 7. How much time you got?
We could wrap it up, or we can keep on.
It's up to you, man. I got
whatever you want to do.
My family's right here, dude. I can get them to come in and hang out with us, but you know,
whatever you want to
all
do.
right, because I'm not ready to give you up yet. Because man, this is fun. This is interesting to me.
All right,
I'm
keep
learning
it
a
rolling.
lot. Learning a lot. We're moving. We're rolling. All right,
Keep
so
it rolling.
all right. So, what have you been doing with yourself, man? Since you can't play, you got home. You married.
Married. Have a couple of fur babies. Got a dog and a cat. Purvis, Xavier, my cat.
Purvis.
And Spudley, my dog. And practicing, taking care of the house, man, and just being a homebody.
Yeah.
And I've had enough of it, man. I can't wait to get back out there and start and get back to work.
Well, how far away are you from here?
Probably about 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I was going to say, because, man, this door is always open.
Yeah.
I work in here. I get to work from home, thank goodness. I'm not hurting right now. That's why Crescent City Gumbo hasn't been looking for any kind of tips. We've been encouraging people to tip the musicians that don't have anything going on right now. So please, help them out. So my thing is I got buddies that play. I got buddies that jam. I got buddies, that just want to come noodle around on stuff. I have a guitar. I have a bass. I have some drums. I could sit here and work, and y'all can entertain me while I work. If y'all want to practice, my door's open. Y'all can come in. That's fine.
Go.
Joshua LaRose, me too. You should go live and play that baritone. Do a bass solo. Stand on it, son. Me too. All right, there's a lot of people involved here. This is great. I hope y'all learning as much as I am, except for some of you guys that have been knowing him for decades. I've been knowing him for minutes. Okay, so. This is a blast. I love doing this. Like I said, I really don't know what I'm doing here, but I came into this with the idea to help people, help locals. And how else are you going to help locals by bringing in local legends? I mean, these stories are tight. What kind of advice would you give anybody that's getting into music, like anybody, the bass player, drummer, whatever, coming up? What would you say to them to help them keep motivated? And
I would say the main thing is to do it because you love it. If you're going into it to make money, if you're going into it to be famous, if you're going into it for all these these dreams and everything, you do it because you love it, and that's why I did it. When I first started playing, I started playing because I loved music. And I wanted to be a musician, and I wanted to be up there with Geezer and with John Paul Jones and all those guys, but I didn't want all the bullshit with the fame and all this other peripheral stuff. That's not me, and people that know me know that's not me. I'm a pretty private guy. I'm a straight shooter. some people think I can be a little grouchy, a little grumpy, and that's only because I tell the truth.
Yeah.
And and that's it, man.
All right. So Donald said this is the most I've ever heard him talk. I'm wondering if he's meaning me because of the last interview with Jay. I mean, we were in here for 3 hours, and I might have gotten 5 minutes with him.
You know, I watched part of that. And again, I love JJ. I've been knowing JJ since we're 16 years old.
Nice.
And
I like Greg.
he's a friend. I consider him a friend of mine.
Nice.
But he needs to shut up sometimes.
Oh, Mike, he's talking about you. So Mike doesn't talk a lot? I don't get that because I haven't had a problem getting anything out of him.
Well, yeah, Donald knows me, but Donald doesn't know me that good.
Okay. Well, yeah, well, he probably knows you a little bit better than I do. Yeah. I don't even know Donald. I only know Donald through Facebook. I'm meeting all these people on Facebook. Don't have a clue who they are, but we're chatting, we're talking, we're getting along, we're having fun, and then dragging people in here. I mean, look who we got to come in here. You know, this is great. So if anybody else wants to come on and tell their stories, that'd be wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
We can have our little segments. I mean,
Matt, Dominique.
Matt.
Yeah. Look, this is really awesome what he's doing, everybody. This is really, really great. And I'm very appreciative for the man for having me and inviting me. And it's informative, and it's enlightening, and it's encouraging, and it's something that the local music community needs. And hopefully he can continue this and have more people and you know, and have it going, because look, he's doing a great job, and he's just, I think he's doing a stellar job.
Well, thank you.
So hopefully we'll have you keep it going, man.
I'm going to do my best, man, because this has been a blast. This has been a lot of fun. Honestly, yes, this is a great thing. Thanks, Donald. I really appreciate that. I remember the time we played Caleb's, and it flooded. We drove the equipment truck out with water coming out the doors. I like the quarter note before then.
Oh, yeah, man.
Caleb's, they were both small. So, wow, that sounds like good. Hey, you ever run across a sound guy named Mike Nestor?
Oh, yeah.
I used to work with Mike Nestor.
Yeah,
I used to work with Mike. Great guy. He was so funny. Oh, we had such good times. Yeah, we've actually been we've been talking like Chuck Credo and some of the other guys like the Mixed Nuts. They Mike Nestor ran sound for him for a long time, and all the people that know him. I would love to get some of the local people together, and we can talk about Mike Nestor and have a roast and tell some of the stories. Yeah, brah, you know, because this guy over here is playing his bass, and brah,
he was great, man. He was great, but he was, again, he was a good soul. He was
very good.
He was a really good guy.
I remember hanging out with him. He was falling asleep at the soundboard and like, whoops, feedback, like, Mike.
Yep.
You got to keep an eye on him. But man, he's a good sound guy in his time for sure. I learned a lot from him. He worked with Paul Guidry for a long time. All Pro Productions. So I mean, we've been around. I've done a few things. I haven't had the chance or the opportunity to meet anybody like Mike or any of his friends or bandmates, but I'm looking forward to the opportunity, because this is where it started. Well, to an extent, this is where rock and roll started around here, and metal. I mean, I got a lot of friends that play metal. There's so many different genres of metal these days. Some of them are great, some of them are, but you know, the old hair band metal stuff. Oh. I just remembered a question that I wanted to ask you. Who was the lady that was in your video that also showed up on the cover of your album wearing the muumuu, the old lady dress, holding the axe?
That would be a question for Steve Blaze. I don't know.
Because I love
answer that. Now, I wasn't in the band at that time.
Oh, gotcha.
So that would be Steve would have to answer that.
Because that was cool. We saw the video, showed my wife. She's like, I remember that song. I mean, even some of my young friends that play pop, punk music, the younger guys that didn't grow up in this area, these years, this decades when rock and roll and metal was like solid and coming out real melodic. You said that earlier, melodic metal, love it. Some of my buddies, my wife even, it's like, well, I don't remember what they played, and I start going through a list, or they start going through a list, and it's like, oh my God, I remember that song. And so people remember at least 80% of your music, and you know, nobody has that anymore. It's like, what song do you like from this band? Oh, I remember that one song, or that 2 songs, and that's it. They have some really, really, really good music, but it's just a short spurts of genius. It's like, so the record company forced that, I think. The Persia sound?
I don't know what he's looking for.
It's awesome. Let's see, quarter note, blah, blah, blah. The record company forced that, I think. Donald says, I want to know who was the girl on the cover of Love and War. Oh, yeah.
Again, that's a question for Steve.
And who is Lilian? Lonnie says, Lonnie Miller.
Yeah.
Who is Lilian? Where did that name come from?
That name came from, let's see, me and Steve and a bunch of friends went to the show at the old Joy Cinema City 6 off of Veterans Highway, and we went and seen Creep Show. And in one of the scenes, there was a ghoul in a window, a skeleton with like I don't know with something on top its head and all creepy and all. And Steve said Lilian, and that was where Lilian came from. Yeah.
Just a spark of genius right there.
That's where it came from.
Because it's hard to forget that name. That's where Lilian Axw. Like
that's where it came from.
Nice, and that's metal right there. That came from a horror flick. That's metal.
Came from the original Creep Show. Yep.
All right. Anybody out there got any more questions? Send them in. We're doing our best to get to them all, and I think we're doing okay. Andy Malnar. Mike Maxx story was at that teensy place in Slidell with the stage that seemed like a cave. Dude was headbanging at Mike's stage feet. He and Max had a head-to-head stock meeting of Old Faithful 714, busted the dude's head wide open, and I went and hid behind Mo at the soundboard.
Dude, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know where how these guys got these memories. I have no idea.
Brain cells aren't what they used to be. I didn't live the rock star life, and I've killed a few. Malang, ZZ Top, Melange.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Donald, hey Mike, did you ever do Swan Song with the band?
Can't remember, man.
All right.
Can't remember.
Remember you'll traveled in a van with a leopard interior, John Sanders?
Actually, it had zebra interior.
Supporting local music right there.
It is.
I'm telling you, man. All right, Creep Show, Ed Gwynn. Tell us about writing the song Lord of the Streets.
That was, at the time, that was just like, it was just something that was happening, that was common at that time, that sort of heavy, fast, double bass, double kick drum sort of song, just sort of fell into what was happening at the time. Not a whole lot of thought put into it. I mean, that was something that was written when I was probably like 18 years old. It was just not a whole lot of thought.
But fun.
But
getting
fun.
into a rock.
A whole lot of fun. A whole lot of power. A whole lot of passion and aggression.
Well, good, and that pretty much describes 99% of your music right there.
Yeah,
dude, I mean, can't get enough. I've been rocking out to it at work while I'm working, while I'm also trying to share and forward on other people's live stuff that they're doing. So I do my best to keep up with what's going on. It's very difficult to do. But we're gonna love Lord of the Streets, Andy says.
There you go.
Micah Lander. Micah is a vocalist for a local punk band, pop punk band. Kevin, the guy that owns these drums right here, lives right around the corner. He tuned in. Hey, Micah, what you got, man? You got any questions for this guy? For Mad Max? Mad Max. I like that.
There you go.
All right, so dude, you just seem like a regular dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, that's all I am.
Yeah.
That's all I ever considered myself.
But you put a bass in his
Just a
hands,
regular guy.
put a guitar in his hands, throw him up on stage,
and
he'll
it's-
rock
it's-
your
it's-
world.
It's totally different.
It's
yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
So you play guitar, you play bass?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Play guitar and bass, and piddle around with some keyboards, but mainly bass guitar.
Gotcha. Yeah, we got a keyboard coming in. A good friend of mine that used to tour with a band, not tour, but used to play with a band. God, Big Wheel was the name of their band. He's going to donate a keyboard to Crescent City Gumbo Studios. A lot of this gear in here was either free, was donated, or people are letting me borrow. I paid for a lot of this stuff, like this drum set. I'm not going to go pay for a drum set like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got some good gear in here. These lights, these lights up here, I found in somebody's trash. I pulled them out. Had dimmers attached to them too. Had dimmer packs on them. I'm like, so I picked them up, tested them. One of the dimmer packs didn't work. I had to bypass something, and I got it. I don't have the dimmers on them now, but yeah, I mean, come on,
great.
Budget studio here.
Absolutely.
And we can put out some decent sounding stuff. I got a nice console back there. Trey Newsom, he's the bass player for Sometimes I Swear that Micah sings for, and Kevin plays drums. Welcome to the show, guys. Wayne. All right, we'll get back to that. Let's see. So, yeah, man. Unfortunately, nothing's happening these days. Nothing's going on. I've been trying to get stuff going in here, and people, not to knock anybody. I do respect people that want to keep their distance from everybody, and at the same time, it's like, come on. Nobody's getting sick. There are people getting sick. Don't get me wrong. There are people getting sick, but nobody I know that has gotten sick, and I don't want to see anybody get sick. So if you want to keep your distance, that's fine. Nobody's gonna hold it against you. Just don't hold it against us that we're sitting here together either, because things are gonna keep moving whether we want it to or not. We're just trying to speed it up a little bit and keep people entertained and try to get out there and let people know how we feel and what's going on. Because
absolutely, man.
People are getting disconnected from reality because all we have right now is Facebook.
Absolutely.
So we're going to throw a little bit of reality on Facebook for you. Donald Martin, oh boy. Oh, Bobby, let's go with Bobby's first. During practice, in between songs, I'll look over at Mike, and he is jamming YYZ on his bass. He phenomenal on the bass.
Yeah, that's a Rush instrumental song, which is we used to play that with Gelso and Blaze and Kaluta and Sledgehammer. Fun song to play.
All right, what did Donald say? Gonna go spend some time with the family, but before I roll, Mike and his beautiful wife have always been nothing but nice to me every time we see each other. Love working with him and Lilian, and look forward to working together more. Take care, guys. Man, thanks for tuning in, Donald. Yeah. Looking forward to getting you in here. Donald wants to bring his whole band in here. I'm just like, dude, why don't you just come in and talk to him? He's like, nah, I'm getting everybody. We're going to come in there and play.
Sure.
So I got to love that.
Sure.
People that enjoy this as much as we do, I mean, come on. I mean, what else are you going to do? You can't get out to go see shows? We're trying to bring shows to you through Facebook. Remember to go outside. Remember to go walk around. Go check your yard. You need to cut grass every now and then. Who's your favorite eagle, says Micah.
What the hell does that mean? Favorite eagle. Who's your favorite eagle?
The bald one.
Yeah, the Baldwin.
Not Baldwin, Baldwin. Okay, who's your favorite eagle? Micah likes to ask questions like that, and they actually, the whole band was in here. We did a show with them, and all we did was talk. They didn't play, and Micah decided to turn the interview on me. He started asking me all kinds of crazy questions like who's your favorite? And he's a smart guy. He's witty. He's funny. And very, very charismatic on stage. So, and I love. I actually got to sing with them at the Varsity Theater. They dragged me up on stage. The thing, if you want to call it singing, I enjoyed it. It was like a highlight of my life. I mean, that was one of those bucket list things. I've been on stage. I've been on stage a few times.
Cool.
I was an MC. I used to host corporate functions in New Orleans, around New Orleans. Philips Semiconductors was one of my favorites. But I'm not going to bore you with my scars. What about your scars? You got any limbs or anything that you broke while you were performing?
No, man. I got all my expenditures and all my everything still going.
Thank goodness, man, because you need to keep playing.
Yeah, it's all going here.
Keep playing until you can't play anymore. Who's your favorite? I'll be there soon, bro, says Donald. All right. So, man, how's married life?
Married life is great. Yeah. Really, really good. Got a real good woman. I'm really happy, and we get along really well. And she's my traveling partner and my sidekick and my shadow. So really good.
Brody,
Really good.
does she help you, push gears?
No, she ain't gonna help me, Rody. We ain't gonna go that far.
Okay,
I ain't gonna go that far.
Just curious.
But she is my bodyguard.
Oh, nice.
She's
I'm
my
not. I
bodyguard.
didn't do him. Nothing. I didn't touch him.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
She is my bodyguard. She'll put you in line.
No, that's good. Somebody needs to. Now you see, you were talking about getting meeting people on, getting back in touch with old musician friends and
Right.
whatnot on Facebook. I got back in touch with a girl that I dated 100 years ago, and we decided we got married again, and we have a kid now, and yeah, so Facebook.
Oh, awesome.
Facebook could be wonderful
Yeah, awesome.
sometimes.
Awesome.
Love you, sweetheart. I know you watching,
Awesome.
and that's me buttering you up because
Awesome.
I know you probably want me to run out and get you a daiquiri, huh? Anyway, oh, dude, Joe's Daiquiris, Joe's Cafe in William in Kenner on right off of Williams. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Right next to right across from McDonald's. They had this king cake daiquiri thing that was amazing, and it tastes like, it almost tasted like a cinnamon bun. But they discontinued the flavor.
Sounds really good.
Oh my
really
God.
good.
With last time I went and got that, I bought 2 gallons. 2 gallons because they're doing Joe's Daiquiris, $15 daiquiri gallons, $15, and they still have a full menu and they'll cook for you and everything. So we go out there. We've been supporting local places as much as we can.
Awesome.
So let's see, John
Awesome.
Sanders, good to
Awesome.
see you, Mike.
Awesome.
Kathy's calling. Be safe and hope to see you sooner than later. John Sanders.
Great.
Man.
Great.
Oh, Andy Malnar, Carolyn Harrison rules.
Yeah, because she'll beat him up.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Put him in line.
I don't know a whole lot about Andy, but he is definitely an advocate for local.
He is.
He's
He
always
is.
up there.
He
Always.
is. He does a phenomenal job for all the local musicians in the local music scene.
Oh.
He does. My hats off to Andy.
So what does Andy do?
Andy is actually a guitar builder and a guitar painter,
That's it.
and he's actually really good at it. Actually, very, very good at it.
Cool, man. So of your music, has any of it ever been in any movies?
No, none of mine's been in movies, but some of Lilian's has been in movies.
All right.
We're gonna have to get Blaze in here to talk to you a little bit about Lilian. Steve,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to get Steve in here.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah,
That would be absolutely wonderful. 'Cause
And there's a whole lot he could talk about. That band's been around the world. It's really done phenomenal.
yes, indeed. So, all right, let's see. I see Steve's doing stuff live on Facebook too, and I love it. It's phenomenal. So, whatever we can do to keep the dream alive, to keep the entertainment rolling,
Keep entertainment
because
going. Yep.
people are losing motivation to do a lot of things.
Keep morale up. Try
Yes.
to keep the morale up.
Yes. Be nice to everybody. Get out there, say hi from a distance. Like yell to them, hey!
Yes, indeed.
Go. I always tell people, get out there, make a new friend every day. Talk to somebody.
Yep.
Hug a veteran.
Yep.
Anything. Yeah. Because we got to keep it going. If you have friends out there that are by themselves that aren't getting out and doing much, reach out to them because a lot of those guys are suffering. They need somebody to show them that they love them. I got friends all over, musicians, not musicians, that are having trouble at this time, that are struggling to get through. And I talk to them every day. So get out there, talk to everybody, build up their spirits. Let them know that there are people out there that care about them.
Yeah. That's really important.
And thank everybody that's working.
That's
Thank 'em
important. Absolutely. Well, man, you know what? On all of that, I think that's a high note.
Yeah.
We can end it here.
Well,
I
thanks.
think it's a good idea.
Thank you for coming, Mike.
Man, thank you for having me.
This has been
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you for having me.
This is one of the high points of my career, if that's what you want to call it, at
Thank you
Crescent
for
City
having
Gumbo. And we're going to love this. We're going to ride this wave as long as we can.
My pleasure, man.
and
My pleasure.
You said some wonderful things about me and Crescent City Gumbo, so thank you so much. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for hanging in there. Man, this is great. This is a third the length of what Jay's was. Just saying. Don't get mad, Jay. Don't get mad. But wait, Louisiana has way better rep than the Cajun Zydeco rap we get. These bands grew us up. I'm 55 now, but 15 all over again. And you put us there. And thank you for that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Man, y'all have a wonderful time. hang in there, stay out there, you know, hang in there, be nice to everybody, be nice to yourself, take care of everyone you love, go check on your loved ones, and man, it's been a wonderful time from Crescent City Gumbo again. So
Awesome.
we will see you real soon. Thanks for tuning in, and you know what?
Awesome.
Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of this lockdown, as much as it takes. All right, thank you,
Thanks,
Dom and
guys.
Mike. No, thank you, Andy. This has been What's in the Pot from Crescent City Gumbo. Oh, bye-bye.